from Africa land, they coming to walk on them. Red mother, we call on you. The young lad, we call on you. Your children crying, creeping, moving. Mother, we call, mother, we call, mother, we call, mother, we call.
Break up the chain and make the slavery. Hey, African people get free.
break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, and everybody just says it. Hey, and the youths them dying. Hey, in the streets them bleeding, and the mothers weeping. Hey, youth man just wise up. Hey, my people stand up. Hey, pump your fists and march out. My people stand up and say African people get free. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Pull up your pants and show your damn say. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, woman, respect your natural beauty. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, African people get free. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, watch the food you're eating. Hey, the things they feeding. Boy, this thing slow poisoning, and it have you dying. Hey, why so much of cancer? Hey, just so corona. Hey, they want to kill you just to control you. I say African people get free. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Pull up the pants, them show your bam say. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, woman, respect your natural beauty. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, African people get free. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, the elders them crying. Hey, cause what they seeing. Hey, the youth disrespecting, and the parents grieving. Hey, look how the country's falling. Hey, and the body's piling. Hey, my people check this before you wreck this. As hey, African people get free. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Pull up your pants, them show your bam say. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, woman, respect your natural beauty. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, African people get free. Break up the chain of mental slavery. Hey, watch the clothes you're wearing. Hey, the energy.
Yeah, mon child. Yeah, mon child. Oh, yeah, mon child. Yeah, mon child. Yeah, mon child. Luba sako fi rufo. Yeah, mon child. Yeah, mon child. Yeah, mon child. Yeah, mon child.
Pleasant good night to the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. Yours truly, MC Duke, with a Monday with a difference. We're back at it again on a beautiful day in the Trinidad Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Orisha, the way of life. In my presence, I have Shaka and Fataishi. I was say what that's called here, but you know, it has been a long time, you know, the Facebook page and lighting up King Shaka. You know, we're trying to educate the masses about Orisha and the way of life, just like any other religion. And every Monday night, once there's not a political broadcast, we'll be touching the surface, educating the masses and letting them know what's going on. The show tonight is sponsored by Steam Cleaning, Car Detail Center, Eastern Main Road, Mova, Style Affair by EV. These are the people coming on board. So if you wish to come on board, and just contact us right here on Trini Bashment, Shoot 919 FM, where you can sponsor the show so we can keep this going, where we can educate the masses. So without a doubt, King Shaka.
Peace, love, and blessings. Greetings in the name of Olodumare, Orishan, our positive ancestors. It's a real pleasure to be here, to represent what our ancestors stood for and what they lived. And the Orisha way of life is one that is exemplary. It's the way we live. It's the way we do everything. It's a tradition. It's not mysticism. It's not magic. It's a way of life that helps us to communicate with Olodumare. You understand? And the Ifa way of life, it is simply the communication of Olodumare to human beings, to nature, to all things in the universe. You understand? It is not magic, as I once said. It's a way of life. And what our ancestors stood for? Our ancestors stood for truth. And the truth of everything is based in the word of God that is sent down and given to man and to mankind. So it's truly an honor and a pleasure to be here standing and speaking on truth of what our ancestors stood for. I know that there is a lot of inundated information circulating about Orisha, that it's black magic, that it's something negative, and that it's something evil, and that African people should stay away from it. And that is indeed a fallacy, because our ancestors existed on these earths, on this earth, for millions of years, you understand? And it is true, you know, the condition of slavery, that what was ours was taken, it was rebranded, it was repackaged, and it was fed back to the descendants of African people as lies. You understand? And that was only so to control our people and have us in a state of anomie, which is not knowing ourselves. And it is also spilling out into the wider society, whereby we have a lot of people walking around without the knowledge of self, based on the miseducation and the misrepresentation of what our ancestors used to practice. And this is the year of 2020, and we are indeed happy and privileged that our prayers have been answered and that our ancestors have opened the way for us to access and accept, you know, the truth. And it is programs like this that would open the way so that people would know the truth. So, Brother Duke, thank you for...
Go correct here, I'm King Shaka. I am Alatumishe.
Asheo. Alatumishe.
Yes.
Blessings, you know.
But it's all good. As I should say, this has been embedded in me. If I Taishe, I don't know if you the spoke about it before. If I Shegun, in the past I spoke, yes, Shegun, I put in the spot because we are all brothers who represent the same diaspora, and we are about the truth and educating the masses. And I came to my Ari, Ifalashe, and I told them the media spot that I am on is a chance for Orisha to come out and for people to understand and educate the masses, because people have the wrong conception about Orisha, Ifa. And trust me, had I known Ifa Orisha was so sweet, I would have followed, but everything is at timing. So without a doubt, just to touch the surface, what house is from, Pali represent, you know, then I will go to Ifa Taishe.
Of course, well, I am from the house of Ile, Ejosio Turameji Awoshun. My spiritual parents is Araba Adewale Osho. My Ianifa is Yeye Agbomola Olomi Tutu Ido Oshun, Iya Omotaiwo. And my Ujubona is Baba Opa Kunle Ifakoya. You know, I'm from that Ile. And it's a pleasure to be here.
I can never forget that Ile because my birthday falls on the 14th of August and the Ocean Festival. I don't miss it. I had 15 days. I had fun. Trust me. It have nothing better than heading up to Matarita there and just enjoying my birthday in that temple, you know.
Well, you know, Oshun is the house of love.
Yes, plenty of love flowing, you know.
Goodness, all good things, you know.
Yeah, man.
And all is always welcomed, you know, to come in that house of love.
Ashe. So we go touch Fataishe. A brother I know long time I meet here down in Laromaine some years ago, you know. So system that the masses know is we represent, where we come from, you know.
Abuwa boy aboshishe to everyone.
Bato.
I am Ifataishe Ifachu. My brother just said something there, and I sit down and I keep pondering on it. Our ancestors have done so much. They have braved the Middle Passage. They have endured so much. They went through so much of turmoil. They did synchronization just to keep a strain of all.
I go remember I go cut you just now because we are ads to go to, right? So just go ahead and then I'll cut you and we'll go back to where we was, you know. We must pay the bills, you know. Yeah.
They did so much. They did synchronization and all this kind of stuff just to keep the message alive, so that the prayer that one day we would find ourselves back home to where we belong.
Let's talk on the street. The official station that defends the nation.
Right.
Yeah, and we owe it so much to them to come back home and to show that level of self-love. Brother said that it's not magic, but the real magic is in knowing who he is and becoming the best version of that and applying that to society and just being your best.
Yeah, you go ahead, Taishe, go ahead.
Yeah, so at this time I would just like to acknowledge certain elders. You know, it is important to give Iba And I like to say, Ibata my Araba, Ifakola, the Atinemu, the Araba of the Odioluwo Kingdom, the Oluwo of Trinidad and Tobago, Ifa Korede, Apiga, and all ears, elders in Trinidad and Tobago, Iyawo Motaiwo, Baba, everybody.
Yeah, must say it's a privilege and an honor to have all here because last week, and he's right now he's streaming and he's watching Ifa Porere, Egbe Bemi Sean Singh from over there. You know, he was here last week gracing the stage here on the street 919 FM. As you see, we could watch on the screen. We have comments coming in from Jennifer Ashby, Okole. Good evening, my brothers and all listeners and streamers. We will be into forgetting our way of life and living. What they would never understand is that we are highly spiritual beings, and no matter where we may go, we are connected to them.
Ashe.
You know, a lot of Leslie Joseph says King Shaka, it's Diamond Yeo, Fiola Rada, greetings all. I'm not seeing the other person. Is the cameras, but he's there. If Ataisha is here. He and Paul Ori Yeo, you know, so we are all here. Fashigun is here, we in the building, we look into educating masses. So last week we had stopped on Ogun, so I don't know if we just go back and then go forward on Ogun and keep it going down, you know.
Well, Ogun is one of our oldest warrior ancestors. Ogun was one of the first 16 Orisha that descended on the earth when Olodumare was putting the earth into order. You understand? And Ogun was one of those Orisha that walked on the earth. And the energy of Ogun is in all of us, in the way we do things, in the way we execute things, in the moral and the principles that Ogun stands for. And Ogun stands for truth, Ogun stands for justice, Ogun stands for loyalty. You understand? And those are the attributes of that Orisha that is Ogun. Ashe?
Ashe. We have Chesem Baba Urila Fakayode, known in the Calypso world as Banjela, Aboro Boy. You know, you can go get into that right now, Baba, you know, but it's all about sharing knowledge, giving people the wisdom and the understanding to know what Orisha, the way of life is, you know. So, as the program goes forward, according to all the comments and the phone calls coming, because we'll be opening the line soon.
Yeah, man.
Bless you know, if anybody have any questions, give them it. Taishe, King Shaka the here. You know, if Ashegun is here also, so I could give him something when he's ready, you know. So, if I Taishe, I would like you to tell the people what was the calling or what was the significance within yourself to be a part of Ifa-Orisha?
So I'm back a little bit there. So for everyone, I did Ifa initiation with Tifa in 2017, which was not too long ago. But I always have this innate desire to make a certain step. I grew up in the spiritual Baptist faith and would still with respect to them.
Sure.
There were certain things that never fully connect to me. And I remember when I went to baptize as a child, I remember before they dipped me under the water, they asked, would you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? And at that point in time, I was at a complete freeze because I wasn't expecting that question there. And it was a switch off and a switch on. And at that moment, I realized that something was trying to force on me that was not of me. And I remember my brother, I don't know if you all know Ifa Terikun, he's in Canada right now.
Yeah.
And he's the one who really started going out to the feasts and these kind of stuff. And we were always drummers. We grew up in Best Village playing drums and all these kind of things. So we had connection through, and I must give recognition right now to Jaja Uga Unenlu, who first introduced us to the Orisha lifestyle. And through following my brother, I keep going out there, visiting different delays, coming to hear what Umotaiwo's plays, going to Oshun Festival, and I felt at home. I felt a certain level of love that I didn't feel anywhere else. And it's something that if I try to explain to anybody here tonight, I'm telling you all, I cannot explain it because I just felt at home. I just felt that joy. Yeah?
I must say, everyone has different callings and different stories. I know you, King Shaka, you go dance and, you know, your story must be a very picturesque story, you know?
Well, my journey, it started since birth. Now, my parents were not into Orisha directly, but their teachings and their principles of what they stood for. When I look at it now, compared to the teachings of Ika Ofun, the 16 principles of Ifa, my parents stood for that. So growing up, the first name my father gave me was Shaka. So the first time I entered in a public library, I was looking for the book on Shaka Zulu, and that was the first book that I had borrowed as a child. So with that now, that became, you know, the foundation, because I saw myself at an early stage as an African man. You understand? I was able, you know, to connect with Africa based on the name that was given to me as a child. And that even shows now how important it is for African people to have African names, because it would liken us back to our homeland and liken us back to our ancestors. And that was the first thing that gave me that edge, which was having an African name. And when I entered into secondary school now, was the same thing. I used to buy those beads, the red, yellow and green and black, and have it on in school. And they would take it. The next week I go back again and I buy one again and I wear it again. And then now I used to buy the little African badge and wear it on my school clothes, because I never saw myself as anything else, as no bad man, as no gangster on the street. I always saw myself as an African man. And it's had a year when Gypsy had sang Little Black Boy, go to school and learn. Now the school that I had came from the primary school. You know, I think at the time I was the darkest man in the school. And when that song was released, it was as if that song was for me, you know, in a mocking way. And then I would go home and cry and say, Mommy, you know, in school is drama, because, you know, the children them on my case. And my mother would always say, boy, let your black shine. Be black and proud. And my father too, he would come and back you up and say, boy, he's African, boy. That is how he is. You understand? You can't change that.
Sure.
So, in moving along now, the spirituality of it now, it became even much more easier to pinpoint and to navigate myself into, because I wasn't seeing myself as a Christian. I wasn't seeing myself into any other way of life, because I was able to identify that my ancestors, the ones from Africa, practiced an African way of life, and I was always fascinated by that. So one of my brethren from back then, Ifakomio, right, enough respect, I was in UE. That was back in 2008-9, around there. And then I started to post up things about Orun Miller and Ogun and Shango on Facebook, without knowing that you know, that is where I would have ended up, because I was reading these things on the Facebook and on the media, and these things were calling me, and I started to post it up on the Facebook. And then he saw it, and then he said, Shaka, what you know about this? I said, boy, I really don't know, you know. I just feel as if I am a part of this. And at the time he said, boy, here what then? It's having a Oshun festival up at Matirita. I want you to pass through. So the first day he called me, I said, boy, I can't come in, I'm busy. Because somehow, you know, the little Western influence, it still had you on the back foot. Then the second day he called me, he said, boy, you coming? I said, nah, boy, I'm rocking back. Then on the Wednesday night, which was the Merindon Lagoon, which is when they light the 16 lights and they dance for Oshun, which is a representation when Oshun is bringing back a light onto the world.
Not to cut across, you know, this is a beautiful spectacle,
Yeah.
as I have shown at Oshun Temple.
Hooray, Oshun.
As something that I will always look forward to.
Yeah, man.
It's very, very beautiful. People.
Beautiful, man.
Those of you in Radio Land, those of you streaming on Facebook, trust me, this is a real nice procession to see. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Beautiful, man.
It's coming up.
Beautiful.
Coming up soon.
And I could tell you, it's also a form of cleansing, because when you come, you know, whatever heaviness you might come with, when you start to see everybody dancing and singing, and you see all the elders and all their regalia, it'll just lighten your mood, you know. So when I came that day now, I said, nah, boy, my tradition's so sweet. So then I came the next day, and then I came the last day, which was the procession from Salibia, higher up on the road to the river. And from that day up until this day onward is where I have been. I never went anywhere else. I never seeked to venture into any other way of life. And I stayed on the Orisha road. And then I got initiated, you know. And since then, until now, I would safely say that I'm a young, proud ambassador of the tradition. Sure.
But looking at Iwer-Orisha is a never-ending learning process. It keeps going on and on and on. It never ceases to stop. And the Western world again, Arnold was caught up in it. Arnold was into the Western world because others follow you on Facebook. Yeah. The Tommy Hilfiger, the Gucci, the this, the whatsoever, you know. Yeah. We're proud to head down Frederick Street. We're proud to go to West Mall. We're proud to go to Grand Bazaar to buy the Gucci slippers. But to buy a piece of cloth and sew and come out as African, you could only do it on the 1st of August.
Yeah.
You understand? And because you see, Killer Cock telling you, thing right, thing wrong. The old word, the Western world word, Obia, the working magic. Why are we so blindfold?
Well, it is years of the inundated information that is being done through the movies. It is even in the history syllabus in schools, where, you know, they would depict what our ancestors did as something ungodly. And it was only done so to perpetuate the other ways of life of the colonizers. Because in order to control you, they have to control your mind. And when they control your mind, they would then control what you would accept and what you would not accept. So by making us afraid of who we are, it was easy for them to give us a book and say, here, what now? This is now your holy book, and this depiction of God is your God. And that is what was done to our people, you understand? In the history books, in this year 2020, in schools, our children have to write lies in order to pass the history exams.
Just not cut course into where you say, those of you listening, don't take us wrong. We are not condemning or disenfranchising anyone's religion, because from my inception of being a part of Iwer-Orisha, my Harry always tell me, respect a next man religion. Never, ever disrespect a next man religion.
Benny.
You understand? Always give them that respect.
Yeah.
Don't cross that line. So if I tell you, say, when you look at society today, what you feel is the problem? How can we capture our channel, the youths of today, the people of today, to understand? Because we've seen it happening. You know. If you look good, they're trying to blindfold you on the right side, but on the left side it's happening. You know. It's happening, but we're going about it the wrong way. And the reason why I decided to start this program here too is Iwer-Orisha people forget your titles, forget where you have. We need to come out. We need to come out from behind the counter, shrine, the palace, whatsoever, and reach out to them. I just want to hear your views on how can we capture the masses, or where do we take it from? Where do we go from here?
Well, this would take time because as much as people would like to say we shouldn't study slavery because it happened so long ago, there was so much done on a mental level, a spiritual level, a physical level. You understand? Our ancestors passed through that, and the psychology of it now. And I had a discussion with a friend of this recently, and we identified that anger is an indicator to show unresolved issues. When we see our African brothers and sisters fighting, it is because there are unresolved issues. Even what was taking place in America right now, with the killing of this guy, George Floyd, right? And the people reacting in this kind of manner is unresolved issues from over 500 years. And what they try to do is suppress it by using terms as all lives matter. If people understand the subject of what it is taking place, we're not saying that all life doesn't matter. We're saying that this is the subject that we have to address because it wasn't addressed then. It still haven't addressed now. We're making it the subject. And for too long, Africans have been suppressed, and this is what is showing now. What they would like to do is suppress it and bring it back into a fold. But remember, anger is something that indicates unresolved issues, and it's going to keep on coming back if it's not dealt with and not dealt with on a certain level. Yes, we had to, as somebody say, marching wouldn't fix anything, and they're right.
True.
But we have to now start to reclaim our own, and somebody say we need to first give up our white gods with no respect to any religion or race. But we first have to know who we are. A lot of us, I remember a time I was going to Emancipation, I had a performance at the savannah there, and someone told me, saw me in my African garb, an African who even darker than me, told me it was after Emancipation, the day after Emancipation, and the person told me, he knew Emancipation was yesterday, and I was in awe. Because first, I don't think she even understood what emancipation means. Hence, we are still in this mental slavery that we need to bring out ourselves from. And we need to first start by letting go of the system that they hold us to.
I believe we in a digital slavery environment.
Is it true?
Yeah, you see all these things, digital slavery, they are still controlling us.
No, we can't say that. Remember Ogun, the one who called, let's say it's Ogun, Egungun Osamariwo, the one who called Ogun, who happens to also be the pertinent Orisha of my lineage. He is the one who governs over technology. It's just we not using technology the right way. There's a lot of information on the internet. Now we can communicate and reach out to our brothers and sisters in the motherland and different
just
parts
like
of the
now.
diaspora. Exactly.
Just like now.
But because we're so caught up in the system that they feed us, they swap our cultures, you know. Now in Yoruba land you would find a lot of what is the word? Non-Africans being initiated, and they would tell you not to do it. You understand? They understand the strength and the power of knowing who you are. If you go to any denomination and say you're going to do Ifa initiation to find out who you are and to become that person, they would tell you, not any denomination, but there are people who would say, don't do that is devil thing.
But what is Ifa initiation? Because I know people go put that up just now. What is Ifa initiation?
I'll let my brother take that.
In your King Shaka. What is Ifa initiation?
Well, the true power of life is when one is able to know themselves.
Sure.
And that is what our ancestors did. So when it is a person is to become initiated, it is just a process of getting to uncover who you are. It is a process of finding your compass, your roadmap into your life and the things that would happen around your life. And in order for you to know the truth about your life, because there may be things that would come up in your life that may be a surprise, but when you get initiated, when these things happen, it would not be a surprise because you would know how to navigate yourself around these problems that may be faced in life. You understand? And IFA initiation, it is about developing the skill sets in order to live life. It is about developing cool, calm, and noble character. Iwer Pele. You understand? So it's a way of life. It's getting initiated to reinitiate yourself in this marketplace or this jungle, as we may see, because there are many ways of life out here, but not all ways of life is for a particular person. So in order for us to live our best life, we need to know who we are from Orun, or as I would say in the English tongue, heaven. We need to know who we are, because we cannot afford to live life walking around without having a true sense of who we are, because it's only then, without having that true sense of who we are, we will then be going around the place attaching wrong and negative labels to ourselves that would call a negative energy to us. As Rashoti I had sang in his song, what you feed your mind with would form your characteristics and would shape the path that you would walk. So when it is you are initiated into IFA and you get that word from Olodumare of who you are, it is then you could walk with authority and truth. Nobody wouldn't be able, to confuse you. And it doesn't stop at initiation. It is constantly connecting with Olodumare, with Orunmila, with Oshun, with Eshu. You understand? Because these are the support of our lives. As much as we have our Ori, we have the Orisha that would support us. And it would only support us once our Ori, once our head is balanced and is in the right place. So I just want to say, as children of Orisha, we are very much careful with the things we listen to, with the things we put in our eyes in terms of shows, programmings, you understand, the type of food, right? Because all of these things would have a tremendous impact on our lives, you understand? So when one knows who they are, one could able to live a proper and fulfilling and contented life. Ashe?
Ashe. You want to touch on it, Ashe?
Yeah. I remember just before I got initiated, not just before I initiated, I completed my studies in computer engineering. And for 3 years going, no work, nothing. I went to do divination, and divination reminded me that I had to initiate the IFA to know who I am. And I remember my mom choking me, she said, but you got no money to do this thing. What you going and do? And I remember my Rabba said, don't worry, if I would provide.
I share.
And so said, so done. Now, during the initiation process, I get now to find out about taboos. Mm-hmm. And this is something very serious that I want to say here. Because a lot of people, things going so bad in their life. And remember, when you initiated IFA reminding you of the destiny you chose in the room before coming to IFA. There's a akunleyo, akunleba, and ayemo. Yeah, akunleyo is what you need to choose. Yeah, akunleba is what the energies, the Orisha, the Rumales add to your destiny. And yeah, ayemo, those things that you choose that you can never change. Mm-hmm. If you're a male, you're a male. You choose your parents, your parents going to be your parents. You can't change it. Your siblings, where in the world you choose to born, and your taboos. Some people are engaging in the taboos. Even though they're not initiated, it's still your taboos. And things not working out for you in your life, and you don't know that it's your taboos, that it is your Ori that you're disrespecting. It might be something simple as wearing a certain color. I remember my mom, she always coming to me and telling me, every time she dreams something bad about me, it's always
always hear you saying this story.
it's always something red I wear. And when I get to initiate, and boy, I like red clothes. I get to find out red is my taboo. Red clothes is my taboo. And I engage in that and don't know that is what blocking some of my Iwer from coming to me, apart from other things. So it is important to know yourself. A matter of fact, in Ifa teachings, they always say it is very important to know yourself. In any denomination, and next denomination, say man know thyself. You understand? And a lot of people are, and then there are those who know who they are, but they want what someone else have.
I see.
And that is another problem. But we
gonna be touching on certain points. That what is the difference between Ifa initiation and Orisha initiation? Because I'm watching some of the questions posted here. Initiation into Ifa is a must in devotee's life. As we know, there are a lot of people involved in Ifa Orisha for 10, 20 years, and some of them never initiated. And trust me, they're on a level like, whoa. And, so what is Ifa initiation and what is Orisha initiation?
Now, firstly, I want to say this. There's no separation from Ifa and Orisha. There's no separation. Once created by Olodumare, there's no separation. All that there is different energy points. You understand me? So, just as we have Orunmila, who is the Orisha of divining, or if Orunmila is an Orisha, Ogun is an Orisha, Oshun is an Orisha, Eshu is an Orisha. But because there is a misconception that Ifa is something separate, all Ifa is, it is the word of Olodumare that is pulled down and explained through divination done by Orunmila. It is just the word of God. It is just the way Olodumare say life's supposed to be, and how things is, and how things was, and how things would be. There's no separation. So when one gets initiated into Ifa, it is just getting initiated into the priesthood of Orunmila. Just as how there is the house of Ogun, and Ogun would have certain teachings and ways of life. That is all it is. Various Orisha would have different ways in the way they would do things. Shango would have a way that Shango people would do things. But all of these Orisha was initiated by Orunmila.
Sure.
Orunmila initiated Ogun, Eshu, Shango. Orunmila initiated all other Orisha. And there is Odu that can speak about all the Orisha. There is Odu that can speak about the birth of Shango, Ogun, come straight down the line. So there is no separation. You understand? All there is misconception. All there is, Ifa is the word of God that is divined and translated by Orunmila. You understand me? So you could go and get initiated into Oshun, and Oshun would consult with Orunmila to tell you what your destiny is. You understand me?
Yes, Ifa Bemi says they were all initiated into Ifa.
And I just said that. They were all initiated by
goes to Orunmila for consultation.
Yep. So there is no separation. So that is a misconception and a misrepresentation that have been passed on, through whatever reason. But we are not here to condemn. We are here, to build bridges and to educate.
Make people more aware.
You understand? Once we are children of Olodumare, Orisha, and positive ancestors, there's no separation. The only separation there is where we send our Ori. You understand, man? We have to send our Ori in that right place. Yes, we have to send our Ori in the right place.
Ori is it? Ori.
Yes, we have to send our Ori in the right place to receive that teaching and that blessing. You understand? We can't afford to mix and compromise our tradition. We cannot afford that. So as much as our ancestors had opened the way so that we could understand Orisha, there may be still some blockages based on seeking to follow other ways of life. There's an Odu called Owori Ogunda, you understand, that says that when it is you turn away from your ancestral practice, it is when things won't go well. So we as Ifa-Orisha devotees, we have to stay on that path. We must stay on that line. Ashe?
Yeah. Baba Arila Fakayode saying here, many Babalawos came here and initiated people into Orisha first before Ifa. Explain, please.
I'm seeing the question, but I do not know about that. I could answer from my initiation. When it is I got initiated, the first thing I was advised.
I myself was initiated into Orisha, and then I was advised into my initiation. I need to do Ifa.
Okay, but I can't answer for that. But what I can answer is that Ifa initiation is truly a must, because based on it would give you your compass and your charter in life. I'm not saying that cannot happen with the other initiations. You understand me? But I could say that for me, one of the first initiations I had done was Ifa initiation. You understand? And all of the Orisha consult with each other to bring down that message from Olodumare.
Taisha, you want to touch on it?
I guess the question coming from the place where people say when you initiate the Ifa, then you would know all who are your guiding Orishas. But there are persons who connect with their guiding Orisha even before Ifa initiation. So nothing wrong with getting initiated into Orisha before Ifa, because that initiation now would bridge a higher level of connection between you and that Orisha. The Orisha was always there in your life. It's just that you happen to do that initiation first.
So it comes like, what about the persons who involved in Ifa Orisha over 10-15 years, never initiated, but connected to an energy?
Of course.
No, I'm just saying it can go vice versa, because we know there are people who involved in the Ifa Orisha diaspora, a lot of people involved who have never gotten initiated, but they are connected.
Like I said, when you initiate the Ifa then reveals to you all your governing Orishas and certain aspects about yourself, right? But who is to say that you haven't already started the journey of connecting to the Orisha before Ifa initiation? So there's nothing wrong with initiating into Orisha before Ifa. There's nothing wrong with that. The Orishas have always been a part of your life, and probably Ifa wasn't the idea of Ifa was not wrong at that point in time or long ago. Some people like to say Ifa recently came to Trinidad and Tobago, but from what I have learned, the Yoruba people who came to Trinidad and Tobago post-slavery, a lot of them came as free people, indentured laborers and so on. You understand? But somewhere along the line, the information was missed and certain things were suppressed by the oppressors. But our ancestors kept certain messages alive in songs and so on and so on. So people came in this diaspora to know Orisha before they know Ifa. None isn't taken away from each other, you know.
True.
Because me as an Ifa devotee and an Ifa initiate, sometime with the blessing of Olodumare, I would make my way to Africa to do Orisha initiation, because there are certain pertinent Orishas in your life that you must also acknowledge.
Sure.
Alright, so we'll take a little break, we'll play some music, and we'll get right back at it.
Ancestors, we call on you to fight the fight on our behalf. Ancestors, we call on you to walk on our enemies. Asheo. All the way from Africa land, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, 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 walk on them, 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 walk on them from Africa land, they coming to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they coming. All the way from Africa land, they coming to walk on them. Great mother, we call on you. The young man, we call on you. Your children crying, creeping, moving. Great mother, we call on you. When we got this life mission, we stood up for the nation. From the four corners of Trinidad, great mothers, we call on you. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, walk on them. Yoruba ancestors. All the way from Africa land, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them.
Jaja Romy, yeah, Jaja Romy Shango. 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 Jaja Romy, yeah, me tipini Jaja Romy Shango. Jaja Romy, yeah, me tipini Jaja Romy Shango. Jaja Romy, yeah, Jaja Romy Shango. Jaja Romy, yeah.
So we're back at it again, Orisha, the way of life with me tonight. Yours truly, MC Duke. My Orisha name, Alatumishe.
Yeah, man.
Ifa Taishe, my good long friend, Shaka from Oshun Temple up there in Arima. You have Ifa Shegun and my DJ, Selector Jerry is here on the inside. We're educating the masses and we're jumping right back in it. Shaka, is Orisha a religion?
Our ancestors,
Ifa Orisha, is it a religion?
from the way I was taught, it's a way of life. Because when it is one receive that word of Olodumare on who they are, it is then one would be able to understand who they are and would be able to walk in a particular way. Now there are tenets that are given from God to man in the way we should live, the way we should socialize, the way we would resolve problems. And it is a way of life. But some people would choose to say that it's a religion. But I would say it's a way of life, because when something is a way of life, it is not something you could put down. It is something that is inbred in you, and you would constantly do it. You understand me? So our ancestors long ago, if they had to resolve an issue, they would call two parties in order to adjudicate an issue. They won't call one and then make a judgment based on hearing one side. So it's a way of life. It's the way, we deal with our children. You understand? It's the way we cleanse ourselves. It's the way, we address elders. And it's a total way of life that would help us to align ourselves with Olodumare, and it would keep us on the right path. So I would say it's a tradition, it's the way we do things. Yeah. And that's how I would describe it.
You want to give your take on it, Fataiche?
Ifa is a total way of life.
Asheo.
Ifa speaks on cleanliness, about taking bath, how to take bath. Wake up in the morning, drink a glass of water, brush your teeth. Ifa speaks on every single thing. There is nothing in the world, no situation in the world that Ifa haven't, that is not a part of the Ifa corpus. A matter of fact, in Yoruba land, I haven't been there, but I have seen, based on videos sent to me by my Araba and other people, that Muslims get initiated to Ifa. Christians get initiated to Ifa. There are people who travel the length and breadth of the world to get initiated to Ifa. And that alone is to show knowing yourself is the most important thing you can do for yourself.
Sure.
It's the most important thing you can do for your family.
Ben.
It's the most important thing you can do for your community. It's the most important thing you can do for the world by extension. Because everybody have the role and function in the world. And if you don't know yourself, you're depriving the world, your family, and yourself of something so important.
No, so watching on the Facebook page here, yes, it is a way of life. We are born with it. Even if we understand it or not, it is with us.
Ashe.
Ayoka curtain ala fia ile egbe monja is tune. Abora boya bose.
Hey, Paumio.
Abedi Springer says true. What is egbe?
Well, from what I was taught, Egbe is one's heavenly pair. You know, they say that all of us have a dual partner who we left in heaven to come to earth. You know, so all of us have an Egbe. You understand? And even on earth here, we have our family Egbe. You know, the family we chose to be born into to help us to fulfill our destiny and walk our path on earth here. So whatever family we may function in on earth here is what was predestined in order for us to live our best lives. You understand me? So all of us, we would have our Egbe in heaven. You understand me? And that Egbe is always in alignment with us. So that is how I would explain Egbe briefly. Sure.
But I was right on what he said. There are our Egbe groups in heaven also. Sometimes we make certain promises to our Egbe and Orun before we come to Aye. And when we come here, it's because we pass through that thick, dense part of forgetfulness. When we come to Aye, we forget who we are and all this. And this is why we need Ifa to remind us. But our Egbe is always with us, reporting back to our group in Orun. And sometimes we forget the promise that we make to them. And sometimes a lot of things going wrong in our life and we don't know that we forget to pay respect and remember. Sometimes it's just to remember them, you know, a little offering to them to show them, I haven't forgotten you. You know, you are my peer, my group. You know, we so good in heaven. Why should I forget you on it?
Yeah.
You know, I love you, my Egbe.
Asheo.
I love you, my Egbe. We have to remember them. And this is what they try, and they would do things to try to
gain our attention.
To gain our attention.
Yeah.
And sometimes it may pass off as negative, and a lot of things that may pass off as negative at times is because we just don't understand it enough. Sometimes a manifestation come and we go past it off as negative. But what we're not tuning into is the message. You understand? Sometimes our Egbe come and turn us away from certain death at times.
I see.
You understand? So to the Orishas, so to our ancestors. We may not be able at times to identify with which one. But as the information comes to us, let us apply it back to our lives so that we can regain our true power and become all that we ought to be, all that we chose to be. Ashe?
And I just want to say too, you know, in maintaining that balance with our Egbe so that things could be well with us, it's about giving respect where it is due and giving homage where homage is due. So for things to go well with us in life, you know, we would have to pay homage to our elders. We would have to pay homage to our teachers, the Orisha, you know, our Egbe. Everything is a harmony. So when everything is in that perfect harmony, things would go well with us. You know, I'm not saying, you know, that life would always be sweeter, you know, but things would happen, but we would be able, you know, to navigate ourselves when our lives is in that harmony. Asheo.
If Egbe says, remember when all of us would have cooked fake food and feed fake friends. Egbe? No.
Hey, and children have a lot to do with Egbe.
Yeah.
Benny.
What we do unto to children a lot of the times come back to haunt us with our Egbe. When we feed children sweets and stuff, a lot of the times the Egbe we feeding and we don't understand. I question a lot of times, even in spiritual Baptist Thanksgiving, why they giving these children all these sweets and things, and it may have little differences, but at the same time, whether or not we acknowledging it or not, we feeding our Egbe. You understand?
Babarula Fakayode says, when Olodumare breathed the breath of life into our Ori, it which was made by Obatala, a pair is formed from the single breath leading to two souls cohabiting the same Ori. Muso.
Sheo.
Muso.
No, Babarula Fakayode.
Benny. Adu pueo.
Right, so, and it have so much topics and so much things we could touch on, but as I say, it's to get the people and them a understanding what is Orisha, the way of life, what it is about. And I, as one individual, Adatumishe, a child of Obatala, I would like to see the Ifa Orisha community get together. Because when you look at the world today, the Western world know to the self. Once we align ourselves with the truth and fully understand our potential, it's scary for them. It's very scary for them. We just be attacking it the wrong way. We just be dealing with it the wrong way.
I wouldn't say that it would be scary for them, because I watched some series called Hidden Colors. I'm not sure if the public are aware of these series. And there was a point in time when the Africans were ruling. It was said that the kings and queens of Europe were living in barns. Their livestock were running through their homes, and disease were plaguing their society, and it was the Africans who they refer to as Moors, who was Yoruba people and other different type of African traditional people, went in and pushed what they call the Renaissance era, push this out and bring in textile and medicine and all these kind of things. They make reference to the great alligator shoes that Italy is known for. Alligator is not indigenous to Italy. So where they get that sense of fashion from?
Yeah, because...
You understand?
Yeah, they will take what is ours and repackage it as theirs.
It is we who teach these people how to dress, about underwear, about a proper life, a proper system of life. When even with the Willie Lynch letter, when they went to Africa, they said they didn't see not even one beggar.
And it is the truth.
You understand? And they devised a system.
I see some pictures that you have been to the promised land.
It is the truth.
And they devised a system to break the black man and the black family, so that they can destroy us and claim what is our own. They gave us if you watch the Western history, it was the Wild West. You bounce up a man in the middle of the road, and if you didn't like what you say, or you play Russian roulette. They have taken our good lifestyle and give us their own. So now we killing each other, black man killing black man in the street, and they living good with their peers.
Just to go back on what we saw happening in our country here last week. Yeah, in the sense of Mova, Port of Spain and environs. What do you think, looking at it from a spiritual aspect, what do you think about it?
I would say that what had happened was predestined. You know, certain things would happen so that balance would come back. It was not by mistake what had happened in America. It was not by mistake 50 years ago we had the Black Power Revolution when our same ancestors had took to the streets seeking to have equal rights. You understand, man? It is... So when we see certain things happening, sometimes we have to take a look at it closer so that balance would happen. Certain things would happen as a form of cleanse so that our communities could go back in a place of harmony. Because sometimes when things are seemingly smooth, there may be an undercurrent underneath. And for many, 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 many years, things have been seeming as if it's okay at the surface, but underneath, we had a lot of boiling taking place. And then it came to erupt. Now, what has happened in Laventille and these areas and parts of Trinidad and Tobago, I must say it is because of years and years of neglect, years of oppression that goes both ways. Because those who know better should do better. Once we have elders in a community, elders are the ones that's supposed to take charge.
But you know that fallout, right? That aspect of elders will take community to raise a child. The respect for elders is out. It's out the window. It totally out.
Of course it would be out of the window. When it is, people are trying, to break your flow. They would instill things through the media, to break your flow. A long time my parents used to cut my tail, going and coming. You understand? And up until now, I'm a big man. And when I see my father and my mother, you have that kind of thing in your belly when you watch them, you say, yeah, boy, it's still there. And that is the respect. It's not fear, It's that respect. When it is, we take away our ancestral teachings and practices. Long time, you can't walk between two big people when they're talking. You have to call out a fan and say, good day, announce yourself. When we move away from these things, we are inviting disrespect. Long time, after news, maybe you would have a blight of watching one show. And that is maybe Zina on a Friday night. MacGyver. And then you have to pull in.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have dropped the ball as a people and we are looking all over for solution. When the solution is in ourselves, we have to fix our homes. If we don't fix our homes, we can't expect the government to fix our homes. If it is my child leaving for school on a morning, you understand? And man, his collar straight up under his neck, earring in your ears, your pants sagging on your waist, and you're leaving from my house. Something is wrong with me as a parent. If my child is on the phone 12 o'clock in the night and I'm not checking my child book, it's not the government, it is me. We have to be responsible in our actions. We have to take back our homes. And when we take back our homes first, it is then we will take back the community. We can't be looking all over for people to solve our problems. Sure. We need to fix our homes. And when we fix our homes, you will see a better community. Because I don't know children back in my time throwing a tantrum. I only see that nowadays where a child will throw a tantrum and will back an adult in a corner. And if we understand the psychology of children, they will do things in order to see how far they could go. So when it is we drop the ball as a people and seek to follow the Western way of life as even, a false sense of liberation to our children in thinking that they could do anything they want to make them feel free because we do not want them, to be restricted. We are selling ourselves a dream because long ago, when you hear a murder in certain communities, it was a big thing. Now when you hear a murder, it comes so normal because it is happening every single day. So we need to bring back the morals, the values into our homes. Parents need to be parents again. We cannot afford to think that in order to make our children love us, we need to let them do anything they want. That is a false sense of love. Because even look until I'm over 30. I'm over 30. When it was my 30th birthday, I went down to spend a night by my mommy. Right? The morning she called me, she said, Shaq, I jump up one time. You know why? Because that is years of constant work. I couldn't do anything bad in school or in the community. And my mother not taking my side alone. She going to investigate. She was FBI, she was CID, she was KGB. Yeah. Because she understood that she had to be a parent. And it did not take away the love I had for her. So that is what parents must do. We have to go back to fixing our homes. We have to fix ourselves and fix our homes. And we will then have a better Trinidad and Tobago. We cannot have situations where elders are encouraging the wrong thing and expect their children to go the right way. That's a fallacy. That could never work.
Oh, shit.
In addition to that, in keeping with the concept of our tradition, there's something called esentai. That when a child is born, or even before a child is born, there are certain rituals being taken place. And when this child is born, within 3 days, 7 days, you do the process of esentai and naming process and all these kind of things, so that you know who is this child coming into the earth. Sometimes it might be your great-grandparent that come back. And the priest at the point in time would tell you, you're not to talk to this child this particular way, or you need to be a little bit stern with this child because they might want to go this way. Esentai helps you to know who is the child so that you can best guide that child. We lost all the sense of history, all the sense of ourselves. And you would find a lot of people living life not knowing who they are, not having even a proper a clue of who they are. And they internally angry. Remember, a lot was taken away from us. I refer back to the Willie Lynch letter where they say it is the process of just like breaking a horse. They would break a man. They say they would turn mother against father, daughter against mother, wife against husband. And they knew, because in the Willie Lynch letter, they gave respect to the universal energy, stating that there would come a time where the brain would rewire itself and try to bring itself back to where it's supposed to be. And they devised in their system a plan so that it could be constantly revolving on itself. And basically, slave mentality will continue to breed slave mentality. You understand? So we need to recapture our tradition and practice in likewise. My son was born. He will be turning 2 in December there. And one of the challenges I have, and still today, and I challenge in the Orisha community on this, because when I went to legal affairs to register my son's name, it was a bunch of madness. They said, we could give you this accent, but not this one. We could give you the dot underneath this, but we can't give you that. And we understand the power of our names. You could say Ogun, and it means different thing with the different accents and the dot underneath and stuff. So you might be saying your son is peace be unto us. And they remove certain things, they calling a child demon. We need to challenge the legal affairs so that our children could have the correct names, so that they can live in the true power of themselves.
Simone Darius says these parents need to stop wanting to be their children's friends.
Is it true?
And be their parents. Well said.
Is it true?
Well said, Simone.
Is it true?
Well said.
We cannot have parents and children dressing in the same way. Mother have on a tight pants, daughter have on a tighter pants and walking on the road, and man suiting both of them. Where is the distinction of respect? Where is that distinction of respect? We dropped the ball and now we are seeing it, as our great elder Ella Andel said. Missing generation, who will find them? And now we're seeing it.
Song.
And when we see it now, we have to say, hey, we have to cover our homes.
Do we need to do rituals or what do you see in the future for us to get back our people together as one, and for us to understand how it is to grow a child and do the right thing, follow Iwer-Orisha and operate as how we're supposed to operate.
You see this here? Truth. And where there is truth, there will be unity.
Okay.
Those who would not stand for truth would not see the face of unity. And the truth is, we need to live in accordance to how Olodumare designed our lives to be. If we are practicing Iwer-Orisha, let us practice Iwer-Orisha the right way. That is the bottom line of it. The truth is what would bring unity. And those who wouldn't stand for truth would be the ones at the wayside. Asheo.
So, those of you out there on the Facebook, those of you in Radio Land listening, you can call me up on 342-0081. That's 342-0081. 771-1791. I'll be opening the lines as of now, where you can get interactive. You can throw your questions, you can pelt it, you can email it,
Send it
on a boomerang to Ifataishi and King Shaka. So we're back at it, Orisha, the way of life. Every Monday, once there's no political broadcast, myself, MC Duke, known as Alatunishe in the Orisha diaspora. I have with me here King Shaka from the Show Temple. Ifashegun, as we say, my brother Steeler. And Ifashegun, you know how long I was say that since they come here, man? You know how long I see you, man?
Just wait.
Have a call coming in here.
Hello, good night.
There's a good night caller. You're live.
I love the intellectual program that you all carrying on there tonight. But I wanted to just for you all just to clarify one of the major crucial the kind of subset of the different gods that you all have. Can you just go through them and give some like one of the major subsets of your gods? Can you just outline like the Ifa-Orisha and the Ifa-Orili? Can you just give me like a definition in your terminology of your religion? One of the major subsets are now called.
Okay, good night, caller. Peace and blessings. Well, we practice Ifa, right? And as we had said earlier, Ifa is...
Caller will ask you to just take down your whatever medium.
Yes, as we had said earlier in the program, that Ifa is the communication from God to human beings to all things in the universe. The communication that...
Ifa is the communication.
Yes, and this communication helps us to be in harmony with all things. And it even spells out into our world right now. If there is no communication, things would fall down. So that Ifa is the communication of God to man to all things. You know, even the sea, the river, the wind, everything is a harmonious communication. I show you.
Right. But can you just give me a description of different facets that under this umbrella?
Right.
Can you just give me like an example of this, like about two or three other gods?
Right. Now we have the supreme being that we call Olodumare, which is the womb of creation, of where all things was formed.
Okay,
right?
Understood.
And we have assets that is likened, to an energy, an Orisha that we call Oshun, which is the energy of fertility, love, sensuality, prosperity, etc. We also have the energy of Ogun, which is, that driving force that would help one to clear obstacles and clear pathways and leap barriers. That is Ogun. Ogun is also, justice. Also Shango as well. These energy, these aspects of God that stands for justice. Right? We also have Obatala, TV-Orisha, and Obatala is, the one whom God had given the authority to mold the human form. You understand? And Obatala energy is likened to wisdom, wisdom and patience. I show you?
See.
Excellent. Can you just give me like one more of the energies that you all have under that branch here?
Caller, I kind of feeling out which one you want to hear about.
Yeah, which one?
No, because I already called out several, so I just wanted there's one more, because I thought it was like about 5 or 6 that you all have.
All right. I would like to say this one too. Our head. That is one of the main energy that governs our life, because it is our head that will be able to accept and access whatever God has for us. And once we have our head in that positive and balanced alignment, it's only when things would flow in harmony with us. I'll show you. You understand that?
I understand that.
Our head is also
as well.
Yeah, Ashe.
I see.
Blessings, caller.
You all have any like not like a brick and mortar structure that you all have that can, like, for basic information and teachings.
Oh, so you are interested in coming to a space to learn?
Yes.
Okay, well, there are many spaces, both east, west, north, south. Now, I am from Ilejosio Tura Meji Awoshun. The host of the show, he's from Iami Egbe Imu. And my brother here on the right, he's from
all over.
He says he's from all over.
He's all over.
Right, but
he's funny.
But the brother here who has the program, he would put up, where one could go to find information. You understand me? So
right.
Yeah.
And the time slot for the program. What time you all usually
the time slot for the program Monday? Is on Monday. However, we know we are in the election season, right? Once there are no election broadcasts, it will be coming over from 7 to 9. However, we gather in whatever sponsorship we can get to keep the program on air, because with radio everything comes with a price. If I tell you or something to say?
Caller, just to add a little to what brother was saying, there's one God, Olodumare, in our tradition. There is Irumole, and there is Orisha, there is Ekungun. Olodumare is God supreme.
Sure.
Then there is Irumole. They say Igba Irumole ojo kutun, Igba Irumole ojo kisi, Igba okolon Irumole. They refer to 200 on the right, 200 on the left, and 400 on earth, and they work interchangeably. Plus one. The Orishas are for some Irumales that came to earth and were birthed through women and live a particular life here and then went back to Orun. Then there are ancestors who are deified, ancestors who have lived a remarkable life and did wondrous works and were elevated to the position of Orisha in Orun. So there's a lot to learn, and that is why we say if you're interested in learning, I am but a baby in this. You will go your entire lifetime learning about yourself, much more for learning about the Orishas, because in the Ifa corpus there are 256 Odus, and of the 256 Odus there are over 1,000 verses, and of those 1,000 verses there are over 1,000 sub-verses, and they could keep going and going, because remember, Ifa incorporates every aspect of life.
So not to cut you, say caller, we kind of running out of time here.
Right, no problem.
You can call me on 342-4921, where I can give you more information. 342-41 349-4121. Can't forget my number, boy. 349-4121. I'm watching
What are you two? Okay, I'll call back either next week. But great discussion and great intellectual
thank you.
wisdom.
Thank you
and ideology. I share to you all tonight.
I want King Shaka to address this question by Carlin Kali. Could a man become a mother in the Orisha faith? We have approximately 10 more minutes before we leave the building. Brother David Mohammed is inside with the Black Agenda. He'll be up at 9. So we're going to do this quick, people.
The simple answer to that is no. A mother is a mother. A father is a father.
Benny.
If you come to earth to be a man,
sure.
You have a responsibility of a man to yourself, to your family, to your community, and to the world. If you come to, you can never be. I listened to Baba Samoan said, Even if you want to be like your mother, you can't be so because you have yayamo, you choose to be a man. You say, but even if you do all these plastic surgeries and all these kind of things to make yourself look like a man, you're still a man.
Yeah.
But
Again, I call
even if you think you can do all these things and get away with it, you can never secrete breast milk. You can never be a mother.
Caller alive. Taking this last call here.
To my brothers, I know I had to be fast. One thing I want to say is not know who you are, know what you are. Right? So you must stop saying know who you are, know what you are. No, I will tell you something. In the ancient days, like the Egyptian mystery system, that was the religion for everybody, which spread all over Africa. Now, after the Romans and them came in, now in Greece, it had knowledge, school of knowledge and all these things because they learned it from the Africans. But when the Romans came in, they closed down all of that. Closed down, stopped the religion, everything. We just say is voodoo, that is magic, that is the way of religion. That is connecting with the cosmos. And someone sings. Now, after that, what went on, and they invade, like Italy, all of them invade Africa. Now, the Egyptians and them start to split up. North Africa, everybody. So you see the Moors is who carry on that religious knowledge, right? And kind of spread. And it's another group, it's another community from North Africa invaded Spain and they keep on carrying on the knowledge. But the Romans and them closed down everything, and that is when knowledge stopped. And they take religion now. No. Christianity, the hard was to put everything in it, promote it real strong for the people out in the Western world to believe in something. You understand? In their mind. And that is what is happening. All the creative power and knowledge is not in that. It's not in Christianity.
Well, we are 1 minute.
That just name. But one more thing. All the religions on them was like a shipwreck. Peace gone so. So what we need to do, we need to come together. That's why you see, I'm not in no religion. I just take from everybody and make one. My friend, you all have a good day.
Blessings to you, man.
King Shaka, I don't know if you want to leave the people with something or to go before, because you know time against us.
Okay, I just want to say quickly, we have to live truth. We need to live truth. We cannot stray from what is spiritually and morally correct in our lives. When it is we deviate from the truth, it is only when we would then, pull negative energies that would make us behave in a particular way. Let us live truth. Let us go back, to cleansing ourselves in the right way. Be careful of the things we are looking at. Be careful of the things we are listening on the media. You understand? Watch the foods we are eating, more so the fast foods that is damaging our bodies and all of that. Let us live truth. Aburu, Aboye, Aboshiseo.
Yeah, if I say closing.
In addition to what brother say, we need to understand that the person who would suppress us and enslave us and try to rip us apart from our family and our family life and our community, our system of living good, they would not give us anything to empower us. So we need to come back home to tradition. I don't have any problem with any African tradition or any tradition per se, but we need to come back home to tradition. The oppressors wouldn't give you anything to help build yourself. They wouldn't.
Sure.
Ashe?
Benny.
So I must say, it's a privilege. King Shaka, thanks for coming and call here.
Man.
And you could not come before some call and make it your duty to grace 919 stage. If I tell you, I know you just a call a long time and see from you, but it's good.
Sure.
If I say good, again, at the end of it, we are all one people, one goal. Sure. We might come from different denominations, so whether I be Buddha, Allah, whosoever, but at the end of the day, we serve one God, just different practices.
Sure.
And we as black people We need to understand and find our true self and true meaning. Let we stray away and get away from the Western world philosophy, as my brother King Shaka. First time I hear him sing Walk on Them was Olokun Festival in Moruga, and say, Sanapa, and say, this man is real trouble, man.
How we march around the
march around Columbus.
Yeah.
It was a vibe, it was a love.
Going on today.
It was a, no.
And that is how it does work. It does take something for something to happen.
Sure.
Yeah, we need to,
something to
we need to understand and really dig deep. Not because we want to make a statement or let those who in charge understand who we are. It don't mean that you're running in a store and pick up one side of sneakers. For what? For what? It don't mean you're running up Frederick Street and seeing our brother or sister walking down, and because we protesting, you pull the chain or you pull the clothes. For what? For what? So, on behalf of my group, Yami Mo Egbe, we'll soon shine up there, Rima, and on the festival.
Il just see to Rameji Awashun.
Can't wait on my birthday. A nice time, you know. If I Shegun, if I Taishe, it was a pleasure.
Sure.
Having you all here. And may all do my guide and protect us all.
Sure.
And may the Orishas look over us and guide us. And may Yeshu always open the pathway for positivity. And may Baba Ogun keep clearing the way for us. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, 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 walk on them, 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 walk on them. Walk on them, walk on them, walk on them. Ancestors, we call on you. Ancestors, we call on you. You came across the middle passage. Ancestors, we call on you. Some are shown over, but some are show. Ancestors, we call on you. From this land of Trinidad, great warriors, we call on you. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, 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 walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. Great mother, we call on you. Iwer, we call on you. Your children crying, creeping, moving. Great mother, we call on you. When we bought this libation, we threw the foundation from the four corners of Trinidad. Great mothers, we call on you. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, 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 walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them.
truth must be recognized by the black man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he wanted me to speak for all black people. Think for the whole and speak for the whole. Here's the way I want you to think. If we have 30 million people eating a slice of bread per meal, that's 90 million slices of bread per day. 630 million slices of bread per week. 37,760,000,000